I turned 50 in 1973. I remember the exact day, November 14th, because I stood in my bathroom that morning, looked in the mirror, and thought, I still have time. I'm 103 now. I've been retired for 33 years, and I need to tell you something that nobody in their 50s wants to hear. You don't have as much time as you think. And the decisions you make right now, not in your 60s, not when you retire, right now, will determine whether your retirement is the best part of your life or the loneliest. I made almost every wrong decision. I'm going to tell you what they were so you don't make them too. My name is Dorothy Kowalski. I've watched 33 years of retirement unfold from these decisions I made when I was your age. Some of them seemed smart at the time, responsible, practical. They weren't. They were fear dressed up as wisdom, and I've had 3 decades to regret them. Decision 1. Whether you're going to keep working on your marriage or let it flatline. In 1973, I'd been married to my second husband, Charles, for 15 years. We were comfortable. We had our routines. He watched television in the living room. I read in the bedroom. We ate dinner together, but talked about nothing. We slept in the same bed, but hadn't touched each other in years. I told myself this was normal. This is what long marriages look like. The passion fades. You become roommates. That's just life. It wasn't life. It was death. A slow, quiet death of everything that makes marriage worth having. I had a choice in my 50s. I could have said something. Could have suggested counseling. Yes, they had that in 1973. Could have told Charles I was lonely. Could have asked him if he was lonely too. I didn't, because I was afraid of what he might say. Afraid he'd tell me he was perfectly content with our arrangement. Afraid I'd have to face the fact that I'd married a man I didn't love because I was scared to be alone. So I said nothing, and we drifted for another 27 years until he died in 2000. 27 more years of dinners with nothing to say. 27 more years of sleeping next to a stranger. If you're in your 50s and your marriage feels dead, this is your moment. Not next year. Not when the kids are fully grown. Not when you retire. Now. Have the conversation you're afraid to have. Go to therapy. Or leave. But don't do what I did. Don't just let it flatline and tell yourself that's normal. I wasted 42 years with a man I never really knew. Don't waste yours. Decision 2. Whether you're going to repair the relationships you've damaged or pretend they're fine. In 1978, I was 55. My son James had just had his first child, my first grandchild, a little girl named Patricia. I went to visit, and I did what I always did. I criticized. The house wasn't clean enough. The baby wasn't dressed warmly enough. James's wife, Angela, wasn't breastfeeding correctly. Angela pulled me aside in the kitchen and said very quietly, "Dorothy, I need you to stop. I can't have you here if you're going to criticize everything I do." I was furious. How dare she? I was trying to help. I had raised 2 boys. I knew things she didn't know. I had a choice. I could have apologized. Could have said, "You're right. I'm sorry. I'll do better." Instead, I left early. Drove home in a huff. Told myself Angela was too sensitive. Told myself she'd come around. She didn't come around. For the next 8 years, until Angela and James divorced in 1986, every visit was tense. Every holiday was strained. I saw my granddaughter Patricia maybe twice a year, when I could have seen her every month. I was so busy being right that I missed 8 years of her childhood. If you have a relationship that's strained with your kids, your siblings, your parents, anyone, your 50s are when you fix it. Not because you were wrong, maybe you weren't wrong, but because being right doesn't matter as much as being connected. I'd rather have been wrong about everything and held my granddaughter every Sunday than been right about everything and missed her growing up. What relationship are you letting rot because you're too proud to apologize first? Fix it this year. Decision 3. Whether you're going to finally spend money on living or keep hoarding it for emergencies that never come. In 1975, Charles wanted to take a trip to Italy. He'd always dreamed of seeing Rome. He had a brochure. I can still picture it, glossy with a photo of the Colosseum, and he showed it to me at the kitchen table. I said no, too expensive. We should save that money. What if something happened? What if one of us got sick? What if the car broke down? The trip cost $2,400 for both of us. I remember the exact number because I've thought about it approximately 10,000 times since then. Charles died in 2000 without ever seeing Rome. I still have that $2,400, plus interest, plus 50 years of additional savings. I have money sitting in accounts doing nothing, and I would give every cent of it to go back to 1975 and say yes. Your 50s are when you decide what money is for. Is it for security? Is it for emergencies? Or is it for actually living? I chose security. I chose emergencies that never came. And now I'm 103 years old with a healthy bank balance and a lifetime of experiences I never had. What's the trip you keep saying not yet to? What's the experience you keep postponing because you should save the money? Book it, now, while you still can, while the people you love are still alive to go with you. Money is a tool. If you never use the tool, what's the point of having it? Decision 4. Whether you're going to take your health seriously or assume you'll deal with it later. I was never overweight, never smoked. I thought that was enough. It wasn't. In my 50s, I stopped walking, stopped moving. I drove everywhere, sat at my desk at work, sat on the couch at home. I told myself I was tired. I deserved to rest. I'd been on my feet all day at the hospital. By the time I was 70, my knees were shot. My balance was precarious. Simple things, climbing stairs, getting off the floor, carrying groceries, became difficult. I'm 103 now. I use a walker. I need help getting out of chairs. Every day is a negotiation with a body that I neglected when it still had a chance to stay strong. The women here who are doing best, the ones who still walk on their own, still have energy, still have independence, they all did the same thing. They moved. In their 50s, their 60s, their 70s. They walked, they swam, they did something. I didn't, because I was tired, because I'd earned rest, because I'd deal with it later. Later is now. and now I can barely walk to the bathroom. Your 50s are when your body decides what your 80s are going to look like. Every walk you take now is an investment in your future independence. Every walk you skip is a withdrawal. I skip too many. Don't be me. Decision 5. Whether you're going to nurture your friendships or let them fade. I had a friend named Evelyn Bartos. We worked together at the hospital for 22 years. She was the only person I ever really talked to about my marriage, my fears, the things I actually felt. In 1980, I retired. Evelyn kept working for another 5 years. I told myself we'd stay in touch. We'd have lunch. We'd call each other. We didn't. Life got in the way. She was still working. I was adjusting to retirement. I kept meaning to call. She kept meaning to call. Neither of us did. By the time I reached out in 1986, it had been 6 years. The conversation was awkward. Too much time had passed. We'd become strangers. Evelyn died in 1994. I hadn't spoken to her in 3 years. She was my best friend at work for over 2 decades, and I let her fade away because I assumed we'd always have time. Your 50s are when adult friendships start dying, not from fights, not from drama, just from neglect. Everyone gets busy. Everyone has their own life. And one day you realize you haven't talked to your closest friend in 2 years. Who haven't you called in months? Call them today. Not because you have something to say, just to say, I was thinking about you. Friendships don't die from lack of love. They die from lack of attention. Decision 6. Whether you're going to forgive old grudges or carry them to your grave. I won't repeat the story you already know about my friend Margaret Novak. You know what happened there. But I'll tell you this. In my 50s, I had a list of people I was angry at. My guidance counselor from high school who laughed at my dreams. A doctor at the hospital who'd taken credit for my idea. A neighbor who'd said something cruel about my son. My sister-in-law who never liked me. I carried those grudges like trophies, polished them, kept them sharp. Every single person on that list is dead now, and I can't remember what half of them did to make me so angry. The grudge felt important at the time. It felt justified. It felt like I was standing up for myself by staying angry. I wasn't standing up for myself. I was just poisoning my own mind with resentment, while the people I resented went on living their lives without thinking about me at all. Your 50s are when grudges either get resolved or get permanent. Every year you hold on to anger, it roots deeper, until it becomes part of your personality. Until you're 103 years old and still bitter about something that happened in 1978. Let it go. Not for them, for you. Because carrying anger is exhausting, and you're going to need that energy for better things. Decision 7. Whether you're going to keep performing or finally be yourself. I spent my 50s worried about what people thought of me. Was I a good nurse, a good mother, a good wife? Did the neighbors think our lawn was nice enough? Did my colleagues respect me? I performed constantly, said the right things, wore the right clothes, had the right opinions. It was exhausting and pointless, because no matter how well I performed, I never felt like anyone actually knew me. How could they? I wasn't showing them the real me. I was showing them the version I thought they wanted to see. I didn't stop performing until I was about 85. And you know what happened? Nothing. The world didn't end. People didn't reject me. Some people liked me better because I was finally honest. I wasted 35 years of my retirement still performing for an audience that wasn't even paying attention. Your 50s are when you decide, are you going to keep pretending or are you going to finally be yourself? Say the thing you actually think. Wear what you actually want to wear. Stop agreeing with people when you disagree. Stop laughing at jokes that aren't funny. The relief of authenticity is worth more than the safety of performance. I just wish I'd figured that out 50 years earlier. Decision 8. Whether you're going to develop interests outside work or let your identity retire when you do. I retired in 1980. I was 57. I'd been a nurse for 45 years, and I had no idea who I was without it. I'd never developed hobbies, never pursued interests, never asked myself what I enjoyed outside of work. My identity was nurse. When that ended, I had nothing. For the first 5 years of retirement, I was lost. Depressed, though I didn't call it that at the time. I had all this time and nothing to fill it with. Nothing I cared about. Nothing that made me feel useful or engaged or alive. I see it in this facility constantly. The people who retired with passions, painting, gardening, volunteering, whatever, they're thriving. The people who retired with nothing but their job title, they're withering. Your 50s are when you build the life you'll retire into, not after you retire. Now, while you still have structure, while you still have energy. What do you do that has nothing to do with work? If the answer is nothing, that's a problem. Start something, anything, before you retire into emptiness. Decision 9. Whether you're going to prepare for death or pretend it's not coming. In my 50s, I didn't have a will, didn't have advance directives, didn't tell anyone what I wanted if I got sick, didn't talk to my children about what mattered to me, because I was 50. Death was far away. I had time. Now I'm 103. I've watched dozens of people in this facility die without their wishes known. Families torn apart by decisions nobody prepared for. Money fought over because nothing was written down. Your 50s are when you get your affairs in order, not because you're going to die soon, because you don't know when you're going to die, and the people you leave behind deserve clarity. Write the will. Have the conversation with your kids about what you want. Tell someone where the important papers are. It's not morbid. It's loving. It's the last gift you give the people who have to survive you. Decision 10. Whether you're going to start living now or keep waiting for retirement. This is the most important one. In my 50s, I kept telling myself, I'll do it when I retire. I'll travel when I retire. I'll pursue hobbies when I retire. I'll spend time with friends when I retire. I'll really start living when I retire. Retirement came, and I didn't do any of those things, because the habits I'd built in my 50s, the caution, the fear, the endless postponement, those came with me into retirement. Your 50s aren't the waiting room for real life. They are real life. And if you spend them waiting, you'll spend your retirement waiting too. Whatever you're postponing, the trip, the conversation, the career change, The risk. Stop postponing it. You don't have as much time as you think. I thought I had decades. I did have decades, but they went fast, so fast. And most of them were spent being afraid to actually live. I'm 103 years old. I've been retired for 33 years, and I'm telling you, your retirement is being decided right now, in your 50s, by the decisions you're making every day. Are you going to fix your marriage or let it die? Are you going to repair your relationships or let pride win? Are you going to spend money on living or save it for emergencies that never come? Are you going to take care of your body or assume you'll deal with it later? Are you going to nurture your friendships or let them fade? Are you going to forgive or carry grudges to your grave? Are you going to be yourself or keep performing? Are you going to develop interests or retire into emptiness? Are you going to prepare for death or pretend it's not coming? Are you going to start living now or keep waiting? Those are your 10 decisions. Make them wisely, because I didn't, and I've had 33 years to regret it. Don't be me.